Back during the Fall of X event, Captain America needed to create the Unity Squad once again. Welcome to the Comicstorian Complete Story series, where we take trade paperbacks in single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read them dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. In order to handle the Captain Krakoa situation, Captain America needed to once again form the Unity Squad, an Avengers team involving Deadpool, Rogue, and Captain America. This video is an older members video that we wanted to share with everyone. I hope you enjoy.
Not long ago, deep in the dark depths of one of Dr. Stasis's layers, MODOK follows behind Stasis, telling him, "I can appreciate a wonderful lair, but why are we here, Dr. Stasis?" Stasis tells him that they're there to retrieve a friend who will have very sensitive eyes when they wake up. MODOK asks if he's sure that they're necessary, and Stasis tells him, "Of course. If we're going to get our hands dirty, a little deniability goes a long way." As the two reach the containment pod, Stasis looks in it, telling the person that he understands that this might be a little disorienting, but they have come to correct a rather terrible mistake. America has gone downhill. The mutants have formed their own country. The day is fast approaching when they will wipe the mutants off the face of the earth, and they won't rest until a new world order is cemented in mankind's image. MODOK peers in. "If you can understand, blink twice." A powerful fist punches through the glass, and MODOK says, "I will take that as a yes. Perhaps we should get this man a uniform." Stasis tells him not to worry. He knows just the one to use. And as such, following the Hellfire Gala, when many mutants were seemingly killed, Captain Krakoa attacked the capital. Captain Krakoa is the former identity of the once believed to be dead Cyclops, used during a period when Cyclops needed to stay dead in the eyes of the law. So now the question is, who is Captain Krakoa, and why has he led an all-out assault against the nation that the mutants once called home? Even though Orchis was behind the massacre at the gala, the radical group managed to gain favor with the humans, blaming the tragic events on the mutants themselves. While it is true that at one point Scott Summers was Captain Krakoa, the vicious acts of terrorism that recently happened are a bit too extreme for a man who once swore to protect human and mutant kind alike. However, Orchis managed to gain an even more powerful hold on the humans, rallying behind them in support of the removal and annihilation of any stubborn mutants who resist. One night at the Orchis Filtration Center, orders were given to the rounded up mutants that if any one of them is not willing to take a mutant inhibitor injection, they'll be sent off planet. However, in the crowd of scared mutants, a hooded woman decided to not fall in line and told everyone that soon they will be free. The officer in charge shouts to the woman to keep moving, but when he sees that she is unwilling to, he begins to step towards her. Before he could even touch her, the woman spins around with a katana, slitting his throat. With everyone standing in disbelief, the woman turns back to the crowd of mutants, stating that that was the signal. By the way, and if you're staying, you're fighting. Psylocke pulls off the cloak, beginning her dance of death, easily dodging the firestorm of bullets being shot at her while leaving a trail of bodies in her wake. The mutants try to escape, finding their backs against a wall when they reach a dead end, but they're soon freed as Penance carves an escape for them. Psylocke, however, continues to cut down any soldier brave enough to stand against her. There was one shadow that she couldn't seem to strike down, though. She turns her blades towards the individual as there's a loud ka-chong as the swords bounce off of Captain America's shield. Cap tells her to take it easy. Psylocke jumps back, asking, "Why am I not surprised? The great Captain America protecting the oppressors of the mutants. How about we just make it a fair fight? Where's the rest of the Avengers?" Cap throws his shield. It whizzes by Psylocke and into several of Orchis' men. "Actually, that's what I'm here to talk to you about. And Penance as well. I have had a little experience fighting fascism, and it took me a couple of nights to get a beat on you, which means so can Orchis. Our enemy is already way ahead of us. We need to catch up fast. And now, given the terrible events of the past few weeks, the world could use an example of unity. I was hoping that both of you would enlist in my new Avengers team." Penance pauses for a moment and says that she is in his mind as much as he's going to let her. "This isn't a trap, Psylocke. He does want to make a team." Psylocke tells her, "I don't think we can stand any lectures about our methods. They've killed hundreds of thousands of mutants, Cap. Cap, with as much of a serious tone as he can, tells her, "Avenge them, Psylocke." Through the growing fire, Deadpool walks out telling Cap, "The charges are set!" and Quicksilver speeds in. "I ran as many of the mutants as I could to the Canadian border." But after a bit of psychic discussion, Psylocke and Penance agree to join Unity. And Deadpool looks at the group. "We gotta hurry! We got some incoming bogeys!" While the team rushes to escape the incoming Stark Sentinels, back over on Krakoa, Thunderbird flies in and Blob looks over the island stating, "I really wish I could just go home." Captain Krakoa turns to him. "It's much too dangerous for you to go home. That's why we fight. It's up to us now. The new Brotherhood. You and Wildside will take the plane to get higher altitude and wait. I'm gonna go check on the prison to see if there's any more soldiers for our cause." However, when Captain Krakoa jumps out of the plane, the Sentinels don't see him. And it wasn't because he had some new special ability. It's because Captain Krakoa is lying about who he is. He isn't some mutant savior. Blob thought that he was Cyclops. Wildside didn't care. He just wanted to kill. Both were Captain Krakoa's useful idiots. But as Captain Krakoa crashes through into the pit beneath the quiet console chamber, he finds a particular duo. He rips off the vines constraining them, telling them, "You decide now. Come with me and fight or stay and die. You come from a great family. Baron von Strucker shook the world. Will Andre and Andreas join my cause?" Andre gets up, stating, "Fenris will proudly fight beside Cyclops." Captain Krakoa tells him, "That name is dead. I'm Captain Krakoa now and forever," leaving the evil Brotherhood to believe that he is Cyclops. But the next day in the sewers of Manhattan, Cap and the others step into the light asking how hard is Tony Stark fighting the forces of evil these days. Tony steps out with a glass. "Don't worry, it's ginger ale." But he has been working every waking minute on a solution to the Sentinels, and he's sure that they've all met his personal assistant, Hazel Kendall. Hazel says that there's no need for the charade down here. They all know who she is, and Deadpool asks, "Wait, is that the White Queen? More like undercover boss Emma Frost?" Cap says that he thought that there were some X-Men meeting them as well. Psylocke says they are, and they're here. That's why I was recruited, right? Cap looks at him. "We were always a little light in the telepathic department. Hello, Shadowcat." Shadowcat steps out of the shadows. "I thought it was time that you met Rasputin. She'll be leading the assault on Nimrod." Rasputin looks at them. "Humans?" Miss Marvel chimes in. "She's from the future, and she won't tell us a thing about it." A few seconds later, Quicksilver runs in, telling Cap that his hunch was right. He found their targets. Cap says that he's sorry to cut this short. They'll keep their eyes on the dead drops if they're needed. "Unity Squad, on me!" As Quicksilver begins to race everyone into position, Cap asks where they're headed, and Quicksilver tells him that they're after the atomic weapons. Once they arrive at the decommissioned S.H.I.E.L.D. weapons base, Cap says, "Whoever you are, you become predictable. God only knows what you would have done if we hadn't arrived in time to stop you." Rogue looks at the people who are following Captain Krakoa. "Blob? You're standing with him?" And Blob shouts, "You don't get to question my company. Not when you're standing with the Star-Spangled Fascist. America supports Orcus. You never cared about Krakoa. Well, we do. We're the new Mutant Liberation Front." There were no more words as the fight between the two teams break out. While Psylocke is handling Wildside, Penance easily gets knocked back by Captain Krakoa. The brother and sister team join hands and quickly fire a beam towards Deadpool. And as he looks at the perfectly burned hole in his chest, he sighs. "I just washed my uniform." Captain America lunges at Captain Krakoa, telling him, "Distinguishing yourself in the uniform of your enemy is a violation of the Geneva Convention. Let's see who's really under that mask." Captain Krakoa catches the shield strike by Cap. "You're the fighting symbol of a nation. And speaking of obvious and predictable attacks, so are yours. Allow me to break you of that habit." While holding Cap in place by the shield, Captain Krakoa quickly and violently spinning the shield, breaking Cap's arm.
And there you have it, issue 1 of the Uncanny Avengers. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and thankfully, Benny had pre-recorded 3 videos for this series, so subscribe and stay tuned for those future 2 videos. Have a great week, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.